Hello. Just checking we're streaming. Twitter, we're streaming. Hello, Twitter. YouTube. Have to go on YouTube here. Where are we? Get my little thing up. Today we're going to be talking about, and yes, we are live on Twitter, YouTube too. Come and say hello on Twitter, because as I always say, we're not monitoring the chat over on Twitter because it's just too damn hard. But anyway, today we're going to look into a couple of things actually. I'm going to try to make one of these into a video, which is I wrote a blog that I've been working on for quite a while. A blog, would you say? Would you believe it? A blog. And it is, I'll share my screen now. It's over on LinkedIn, because we all love LinkedIn. So this idea that UX is dead, it's kind of come about through a few different things. The last one being, have you seen Claude have released this artifact thing that they call artifacts? And it's this idea of like apps on demand. And I've heard a few people talk about this sort of thing, apps on demand, where you can go in, you can just prompt the application that you want. And they've got loads of ideas here, like flashcards. They've got, where was it? PRD generator or something was on here. And I thought that's kind of what we've been tackling with the last few days. But this idea of software on delivery, and I don't think we're there quite yet, but I think less and less we're going to be dependent on, tools, SaaS tools that are kind of built for the masses, that you need like a specific, half of the SaaS tool you don't really need. Like it's built for so many users and all the rest of it. But saying that, let's go through the article and let's talk about it, right? And interestingly, 2 years ago, I found called Any Website. They're no longer going anymore. I think there was too much competition at the time, but basically it allowed you to add ChatGPT to your website. And it was basically to give people telecom-like experience and answer questions about it. It would automatically scrape your website and answer questions about it. And I thought to myself, why not? Let's try and we can't full screen that because it will be too big. Why not just make that the whole entire experience? Like, why am I getting people to click around on my website? Maybe I can make this bigger. Click around on my website when they can just ask whatever it is they want. And you can see here, this is my old website and it's just a prompt. It was just a prompt window. You click into it, you type a question. What can you do for me? And it will just give you the answer rather than you clicking around. And so this idea has been playing in my head for quite a while, and I achieved that. And check out this video. I recorded this in Gran Canaria. It was a lovely sunny day. I obviously can't really use my camera. Don't really understand anything about exposure at this point. But, God, I talk about neurolinguistic programming. Look at all that. But yeah, I show you how I add it to my website, and it did all right. That video did all right, but it's kind of coming back around now of this idea of prompt. I call it here like prompt first navigation. So let's read this first opening paragraph because it's quite important. The digital landscape is undergoing a seismic shift. For decades, user experience (UX) design has been the backbone of software development, guiding how products are structured, how users interact with them, and how businesses differentiate themselves. But as AI prompt-driven interfaces mature, the era of traditional static UX is drawn to a close. We are entering the age of bespoke, on-demand software where tools materialize at the moment of need, perfectly tailored to each unique request. And I have this idea, and I was talking to my friend about it last night. I have this idea where you've at the moment, and Dia, which is the browser I'm using right now, is kind of the transitionary thing of this, is that we've got so many organizations and businesses have got so many different tools that they use. You've got Salesforce, you've got HubSpot, you've got this, and to join them all together, you're kind of reliant on things like Zapier, and you're reliant on integration layers and stuff like that. I imagine a world where all of there are databases at the end of the day. All of those databases are stored, somewhere or whatever, but the interface is a prompt window to say, what's what client was I talking to last week, and what it's the prompt first approach where you query the data and get it in the format that you want. Now, I talk about this in my, it's not out yet, but it's Figma MCP video. And I've talked about it on the stream where I ask for the Figma variables, but I ask them in Tailwind 4 format. So this manipulation layer, this transformation layer happens. And it's really a way to take data and receive it in the actual way that you want. And I just think this is the end goal. I think this is totally the end goal. I'm not saying it's happening now, but it's totally the end goal. And you've got Deer here, which starts to bring together. I've basically got access to all of my tabs up here inside of this chat window. And I can start to, cross-reference some of this stuff. I mean, I don't know why I would cross-reference. I guess I've got Perplexity here. But I do think I sent out a tweet. I do think that auto agent mode will be interesting because I could take this. They take this piece of text here. I could say put it into Perplexity, then take that and then email it to my mate John or whatever it is, and this kind of cross. And now we no longer need Zapier or anything like that, which is kind of crazy. So let's get back to the article, and I can further sort of start explaining things. Historically, software has been designed to anticipate every possible user need, resulting in sprawling interfaces packed with features, most of which go unused. This catch-all approach led to bloated SaaS platforms, complex onboarding, and cognitive overload for users. As businesses matured, so did their expectations. Why pay for a monolithic tool when only a fraction of its functionality is relevant? And this payment thing is, Jesus Christ. This payment thing is really interesting because typically, obviously, dream scenario, businesses will just pay for custom software to use. They'll be like, we need this thing to do this custom thing, and that's a costly endeavor. And now with like vibe coding and assisted coding, like it's so cheap to do that now. You can build something. And actually, just to finish what I was saying there, and that's what led them on to talk about, buying off-the-shelf solutions, SaaS solutions. And yes, it kind of does what we need, but as I say here, most of it goes unused. Only a fraction of its functionality is even relevant to you, but you make do because it kind of does mostly what you want. So that was a middle ground between like, we can't build our own software, let's bootstrap the previous piece of software. And then that's the SaaS world that has been born. Now it's just so easy to build software. That's the sort of world that me and my company live in, where we build software and dashboards and things like that for our customers, because now it's just faster and cheaper than ever before. But I still see that as a middle ground, and we'll get into that. Now, with the rise of prompt-only interfaces, the paradigm is being upended. Instead of navigating menus and dashboards, users simply describe what they want. The system, powered by advanced AI, assembles the necessary tools and data sources on the fly, delivering exactly what is needed in the requested format. Because if you could dream up a scenario, like, really, why are we clicking around? Why are we setting things up? Why are we doing all the that just suddenly feels laborious. A video went out where I'm tired. I say I'm tired of like moving from mouse to keyboard. And all of these efficiency layers are building up, and I'm just starting to see the power of just staying in one place and just having everything you need. And we've spoken about this, the end of off the shelf, and yeah, so, and the productivity, obviously. And I go on to talk about Anthropic's artifacts, which is what I think really sort of triggered it for me, which is really exciting. But I do think there will be in the world a world where AI would be so powerful that it's not just getting data, but you're actually building a piece of software to manipulate that data, like on the fly. It's building you a dashboard on the fly. Give me a dashboard that filters the user base by, by demographic, by gender, or whatever, and then I want to be able to select them and send them an email. Builds the UI for that. You can do searches, whatever, on the fly, just because it's so powerful now. And I go on to say about DIA here as well, and invisible UX and things like that. So this is I think is a really interesting topic. We're not there yet, but I do think this is where we're going. And low key, I'm sort of freaking out about this, the future. Where do we fit into it? There was another thing I want. Oh yes, I wanted to shout out, but I wanted to show you Warp, which is my foray into kind of just staying in one place. Which is, I can't really see it right down here, but down the bottom, just down here, I'm able to do whatever it is I want. I can CD. I've shown this before. I can CD into my sites folder, or I can. Well, actually, it's probably doing it now. To be honest, it's actually using AI to do that. So if I cancel that, I can go change to my sites directory, and it's going to use AI to do that prompt, and then I can run a bunch of prompt things, do its thing. Or I can actually run commands, right, as well. There you go, boom, done. Or I can run commands. I can use it literally like here we go, auto selection. That's why it didn't work. Is that auto selection? Yeah, auto selection. Cool. And I can run normal commands. And maybe this is a bit too crazy for people who don't know how to use a terminal, but as a coder, just staying in this one place is so sick. I can actually start to code. So if I'm now maybe go into Jupyter Chat, maybe even go into the front end of it, sort of thing. And I can start vibing out and vibe coding, or adding features, not necessarily vibe coding, but just adding features to this code base. So change. I could just do git status. Is there any changes? There's some changes going on. It's annoying because I want to demonstrate some of the coding stuff. Open. Let's go modal settings. See what happens here. I've not done this before. Okay, so it opens in cursor and actually Windsor, so I need to change that, don't I? But just being able to stay in one place, it's the ultimate goal. Whether it's SaaS, whether it's a business solution, like a piece of software that goes and gets data, as a developer, it's an interesting world we live in. And I'm posing the idea that UX potentially could be dead. There is still absolutely a place for design, like definitely creative, definitely pleasurable things, experiences. People still want to experience things. So it's not like when we talk about like UX is dead, like we still want to do things for fun. We still want to do things for our own pleasure, and there will be meaning to a lot of this stuff. But from a pure productivity standpoint, there is literally no place for fun. And I was thinking about this just on the train now, how you look at logos and look at fonts. We've gone from elaborate typefaces and ultimately driven by efficiency, how most fonts are like sans serif fonts, colors are bold, logos are simple. And I think it's all driven by efficiency in places that don't matter. It doesn't, like, you want your brand identity to be instantly recognizable. And so by making it simple is the kind of way to do that. So it's a really, I've obviously put this blog post out there. I'm interested to see what response comes back from it. I'm interested to see what people make of this video, because at the time, I think people were more interested in adding ChatGPT to the website rather than the underlying message I was giving, which was I've taken this idea and I've redefined the UX of my website to make it into a chat. I actually really liked this website, to be honest, but it's like that's what it is. Like, it's just a chat only experience. You could turn on basic navigation and stuff if you want to, go old school or whatever. But anyway, there's a link to this. Maybe I can put this in the chat real quick. I want to know what you think. I want to know what people think. I did want to also, I briefly chatted about it anyway, but I do really like Warp, and I'm trying to get more into using this because, the only unfortunate thing is, from a development standpoint, you pay about $20 a month, and you get like 1,000 messages. You do get a generous limit of messages, but if you're like, with Gemini CLI or Claude Code, Gemini CLI is free now. So even though I can do code and vibe coding and stuff like that, all I've got to run is Gemini, and I've got the free usage of Gemini. Oh, failed to log in. Workspace account. Oh, it's trying to. Let me go on my face so I don't reveal my email. Log in. So I could just use that, which is still a pretty cool experience, but this is fine to use. I do want to use it, although I'm not. I don't know. I think it's a preference thing. I'm not getting on so great with Gemini 2.5 Pro. But I do like. Well, yeah, it's more of an excuse to give it a try, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. But if I exit, but if I want to, I can use this as a chat agent and just stay within here. So definitely give Warp a go. Again, I'll put a link to it in here. There you go. Definitely check out Warp. I want to do a video on it, or if Warp want to reach out to me and do like a sponsored thing, I would love to do that too. Because it's a pretty cool tool. It's a pretty cool tool. Cool. That's my rant. Well, I say that's my rant. That's my my ideas. Just going to sort out some camera stuff right now. Cut off some of the green screen. Here we go. Looks a bit better now. So now I really, really want to wrap up this app, this Taskmaster mode, because it's so. I've been chatting to people on Twitter about Taskmaster, and I haven't managed to get it. There's lots of people talking about like basically creating PRDs and letting the vibe code idealism rip on a PRD. But for me, it's slow, and I don't mind it being slow. In fact, can we go localhost now? But the results are just like, it's like it's kind of like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of thing. Like now we haven't got an interface. Whereas I thought the whole idea of a dependency tree and building feature on feature on feature would mean that we would start to see the interface pull together. But we haven't, and it's kind of backstepping. Granted, there's absolutely could be a skills issue here that I'm trying to figure out, but it's still not. It's not working as seamlessly as a lot of tutorials and stuff paint it out to be. So let's pick up where we left off yesterday. Let's try and get some UX or UI on the go. So it's creating a user dashboard. Both the organization admin and standard user dashboards have been migrated. Okay. Or app router now uses the new pages org, admin, and user routes. So this is interesting. Let's have a little look. Unauthorized. So yeah, see this. Nothing seems to be, it's that structure that's lacking. Like nothing seems to be building on top of each other. Like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Let's keep going. Would you like help implementing org scoping or read-only logic, or do you want to proceed with another subtask? Again, like these sorts of questions are really odd to me because it's like, well, we created the subtasks with the, you know, the idea we're going in order. Org scoping, and I don't know, list tasks. I don't know what task we're on. Are we midway through a task at the moment? Yeah, it's not ideal. Completed tasks in progress. All subtasks are 28 done. Are done. Pending tasks. Okay, so we are in 29. So continue with task 29. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Yeah, continue with recommended next step. What will probably happen is it will get to the end, the app won't work, and then I'll just get Claude Code to like finish everything off for me. Cool. And it keeps asking if I want to integrate stuff. Of course I do. What is this about? Okay, cool. Yes. Cool. You can now easily expand or adjust navigation roles and editing navigation config. See, I'm just so. Oh, I was speaking to someone this morning as well on Twitter. Like they, during this process, they were like AI assisted coding, like going in and changing things. And I think that defeats the point of a PRD. Like I'd rather just go ahead and just code it if I'm just chopping between. Proceed with next subtask. And the fact that I'm not seeing anything here is crazy. Let's have a little look. So we've got some. So what's permission gate? Components permission gate. What's the difference between permission gate and protected root component? There's no permission gate. Oh no, it's saying, do we want to? Yes. Let's get a StreamYard going over here. Cool. Let's see. Yes. Yes. I want to see it in action. Right now, we ain't seeing anything, mate. Right now, I ain't seeing anything. Now you can see the permission gate in action in your master dashboard. A button enabled master. App router. So path. Login. So now there's just no login page. Let's have a little look. Login element, login page. Where's login page? Login page, pages, login page. Cool. It's just, that's it. There's nothing there. We had a login screen. I was able to log in at one point. I don't want to keep going with this because it's, for one reason or another, we had a login page. Why it's suddenly gone now? I know. I'm intentionally acting stupid. Like I know where it's. I know this is the point in vibe coding, but I'm trying to stay almost ignorant of the fact that we should be this. The whole promise of Taskmaster was that you create your Taskmaster.dev. You create your tasks. Taskmaster, your personal project manager, organize research, expand, prioritize, ship tasks, enjoy permanent context. Zero drift in, I mean, you say zero drift, instant clarity. It's free, open source, API friendly. Let's vibe productively. I'm just not seeing getting working on next short. So it's just, I want to have a little look at this because I'm missing it. So we've already done this. We've listed our tasks. Analyze complexity. Analyze complexity. We've complexity report. Next, go to next task. So they're setting the status there. Demo complete. Yeah. So they don't really talk to you about like what's next. Like how do you? Yes, you've got these tasks. It's broken these tasks out, but realistically, you could do that in any sort of chat app. They're sort of hands off at the point of, okay, now you've got your task list. Now you're on your own. Now you've got a code. Which again, I think you could just do. You could just do with any chat interface. So I think I'm ready to park this idea. There is another lighter weight solution which I want to try, so we'll do that soon. But so with that, I want to do some vibe code stuff, right? I need to deploy my own website, and this is another topic of conversation about no coding, and say something like Webflow or Wix Studio or something like this, whether you no code something or you code it, not necessarily vibe code, not necessarily whatever, but I mean, vibe code makes it a hell of a lot easier. I used to say to people, like, there's no reason why you should be coding anything basic anymore, like a basic marketing website, just because it's like you've got easy interface, with things like Webflow. But now we're starting to get to a world where, and this doesn't apply for designers, this doesn't apply for people who want to be able to design, but as a developer, who's in complete control of my website, who knows how, who will know how everything works and stuff like that, I'm more than happy to say a prompt to add a new feature. I don't need a drag and drop interface to like add new things or whatever, especially on a basic website, basically, personal website. So now begs the question of like, well, when is it best to use no code? I do think that's when you want to design. And I think it's when you want a marketing team to change and do things with that website. That's when you'd go to Webflow. But if you are competent with a bit of code, you're a solo person, it's so much cheaper to do it. You just build a static website, and that's what we're going to do now. We're going to try and vibe out a static website. So yeah, let's do that. I really want to get a Shad CN project up and running. So let's go Shad CN Next.js. Try and get something like this going. And we'll do it in here. So if we go cd sites, start a new Shad CM project. Okay, so this is fine. I kind of want to put Tailwind in it. We could not detect a framework at blah blah blah. Visit installation manual configure project. Oh yes, because I've just initialized a project. Sorry. Yeah, installation Next.js. Here we go. Let me we're doing it from here. Create Vite project. Yeah, so I need a Next.js project. So Next.js getting started. Why not do a Next.js project? Cool. Make directory. Let's do Samuel. Let's do, I think, the 0x505 dev. And now let's do Next.js project in here. Yep. What was the name of your project? Yep. TypeScript. Yep. ESLint. Yes. Tailwind. Would you like? Yes. AppRoot. Yes. Tailwind. Yes. Custom. No. There you go. Let's do Gemini. I think we're going to do Gemini to spruce us up. I wonder if, because basically I got Manus to build me out a website, do research on me, put it together, personal website. Is it this one? Yeah, and I asked it to download my zip. So I wonder, I'm gonna try something fabulous. I'm gonna go. There it is. Let me move that out. Cool. I'm going to move. Where are we? This into this folder. See, this is how amazing like not having to switch around context is. It's just figured it out. So I've got my website now. What I really want to do is if I go to, let's go Gemini, see if Gemini will do it. Well, it keeps doing this. Let me just go off screen share a sec. I don't know why it won't keep me logged in, but whatever. I'm going to... Cool, we're in Gemini. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go static version of my website is in Samuel Gregory website. So I've got my static website here. It's just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Convert this to a next JS project. Making sure to use all, making sure to create relevant components. This is going to be an interesting, I'm excited about this. Relevant components. And in fact, I'm going to, let me do this. Let me initialize a Shad CM project. Let's do this bad boy. Neutral. Cool. Relevant components using Shad CN. What else might there be? Converting styles and CSS to Tailwind. We are asking a lot. I'm trying to think what else. I think we're good. Let's see how it goes. This is really interesting. Okay, so it's examining the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Set up, so it doesn't need to set up the Next.js project, does it really? And the redirectory, create Next.js components. So it does kind of need to skip number 2. Convert CSS to Tailwind, Shad CN, make site functional. Cool. Let's make directory. Yep, we'll allow it. Let's see how it goes. On the one hand, I want to make use of my Claude code thing, but we'll stay here. If you didn't know, this is Warp. This is Warp that we're in now. So view my work, scroll into view. Apply this change. I'm not seeing what the change here is, to be honest, but we'll vibe it. This is vibing out after all. Card components, brain. Oh, we should also just take a look at the website. It doesn't look great. In fact, actually, this is a different one. Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. So this is what we're going to be looking to create. And we'll be comparing against this. Is this using Tailwind? Okay, so it's already using Tailwind. So it's got a bit of a head start there, which is cool. But we'll compare the two. Let's go always allow, because we can't just sit here. So it's not massive, not crazy. What's interesting as well is that I have a sponsorship page or a sponsorship kind of deck. Here we go. So we've got a one pager that's created, and this, in my opinion, looks better. Let's get the zip. Allow me to download the zip of the website. I'll get that on the go. Now, oh, so it's done. Okay. I'm excited. This is something I've been putting off for a little while, but I keep getting people contact me for getting in contact with me for sponsorships, and they're contacting me through my flowbase.dev, which I'm going to deprecate. So it actually looks like, I mean, to be fair, it kind of looks like it was already a Next.js project, but whatever. Here. Okay, so it was a React project. So it had a bit of a head start, but I'm digging that. Let's remove that. Still going. Come over to YouTube if you're on Twitter, so I can chat. It's really taking a sweet ass time. I think I can just cancel that. Let's just do old school. Boom. Okay, cool. So we've got some stuff here. It looks like, let's do this. We'll go Gemini. Damn, I should have given it the file it's working on. Hero. Just found it. It's interesting. It's kind of weird how it was, referencing a file that's not there. Okay, maybe it's just the alias. I thought it would have figured out the alias thing. I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. I want to, what do I want to do? I want to try and use the coding thing in here. Okay, so the bunch of stuff that it needs to, module not found. Do we need to, it's found the button. Let's have a little look at the layout. So source, components, UI. It's only got badge. That's really interesting. Let's use AI. Many of the components imported in the pages are missing. Please create them, remembering the source folder. Attempt to concatenate. No, I don't need to concatenate. I want to have a little look in here. So source, components, UI. Yeah, so there's loads of components in there. Maybe I can just copy them all. What was the original site using? So it's using Radix. Which isn't there a similarity between Radix and, or something to do with Radix and ShadCN? Or does ShadCN use Radix or something? I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm going to kind of do it manually because this is stupid. So if I go this, copy, Samuel wrote copy. To source app components UI. Can I put a P flag there to like create? Oh. Let's try that again. I think P basically just creates the directories that aren't there. Could have vibed it, to be fair. P. Copy all files from site source components UI into source app components UI. Still getting used to just being able to vibe a command. Okay, so it is R, not P. There you go. What is this? Into source? Oh, there's no app. So hang on, something's got confused here. Components, UI. Let's get rid of that. App, we can move into there. Components. Let's see what happens here. So components. We'll try this. I might just need to update a bunch of stuff. Let's go in Gemini. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. Just don't have a great experience with Gemini. So these are pages, aren't they? Oh no, they are components because we've only got one page. These should be public, I reckon. Which look like they were taken. No. Come on now. Let's go, Claude. Sorry, Claude. Let's app. Convert the contents of Samuel Gregory website into Next.js, into this Next.js project. Yeah, let's see how that goes. So Radix, frame of motion. Keep an eye on what's going on here. Yeah, what's the relationship between Radix and ShadCN? Let's ask. So it's installing a bunch of Radix stuff. ShadCN is a component library that built on top of Radix primitives. Uses Radix components as a foundation, as beautiful customized. Yeah, so ShadCN is the design on top of it. Okay. Source components, source app, source lib. Let me just double check something. I'm going to make sure that. In fact, I'm just going to create a new project real quick. Test. I just want to make sure I got the structure right. Yes. I'm trying to think. Let's go into another project. Let's go code. Jupyter. No, that's a React app. I just want to open up a Next.js app router project. App router template Next.js. App page. It's this actually, isn't it? So pages. Components. Project structure. Here we go. App. So app. Hang on now. Where are we? I haven't done this in so long. Yep, that's fine. I'm having a brain fart right now. Which is the latest version? Pretty sure this is like the way to do it. So you've got source, you've got app, you've got pages. So inside of app, you've got components. Okay, so where are we going? Where's Claude? Here we go. So where does it want to do? Source components. Make directory source components. It's inside of app. Move All files inside of source app. No. Okay. Let's think of something different. So I have a React website in Samuel Gregory website. Convert this website to a Next.js website with pages router. Pages router. The basic Next.js project is set up in root. In this current directory. Does Gemini CLI only work for Python? No. Gemini CLI works for anything. What made you think it only works for Python? What gave you that idea? Pages. Why? What am I saying that it's not? That it's not picking up. Pages. And what is styles about? The Next.js project has been set up already. Files should be placed inside of app source app. Internet said Gemini is only able to execute code in Python. Execute is different, but if you link me to that, I can maybe guide you. But no. Like here's Gemini. Like you talking about Gemini CLI because we were doing the Gemini and we were doing React code here. So maybe execute is something different. Yeah, don't know. I mean, it's already there, but whatever. Let's clear up some of these. yeah, we moved on to Claude just because, well, mostly because I want to use up my my Claude Code plan that I have. Yes, go for it. Go nuts. Cool, there's some stuff going on in here. Let's see if we can run this. It'll break, but I just want to see if something's... Yeah. So we haven't got any components just yet. This is just a reminder, this is what it's looking to recreate. Which I could do it manually, but I was just interested to see how it could. So copy components into source. That looks perfect. Oh no, that's that. Yeah. Yeah, this is Claude. Look, stuff is happening, which looks fairly close to this. So it's just the styles we need to figure out now. No, we don't need to do it that. We don't need to do that. Let's close off some of these. Yes, close. Let's ask Claude. Styles are not showing on website. Let's see if Gemini's can fix it for us. Cool code is taking far too long for that sort of stuff. So it looks like this is the thing with AI as well. Like the version of Tailwind is always a bit all over the place. Now, if we go into we go code, open this up. Package JSON, Tailwind 4. We're using Tailwind 4. So we need to do things in a certain way with Tailwind 4. And I'm guessing this is using Tailwind 3. So I'm going to use this, convert project to Tailwind 4, including files, use context 7. So context 7 is an MCP that looks at more up-to-date libraries for things, because AI is still kind of stuck in Tailwind 3 mode and it does a bunch of stuff, whereas now I'm telling it to go use a more modern documentation. So yeah, it's doing a bunch of stuff on the. I don't even think we need post CSS, to be fair. So with that, let's do this. Here's a summary Tailwind 4 upgrade process, upgrade latest version, updated, ran and PX Tailwind upgrade, automatic config. Okay, so it's done a bunch of stuff there. Let's see how this is looking. Okay. Back. Okay, still no Tailwind. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, no Tailwind. Tailwind is not loading in the. Do I need to keep? I think I will do it here. Tailwind is still not loading in the project. This looks like a Tailwind 4 issue. Use context 7. Okay, we're good there. Tailwind. Do we need tailwind.config.ts in Tailwind 4? Use context 7. Got a feeling we just don't need this. We don't need post CSS. I don't think we need post CSS either. We don't. Clean it up. Boom. Okay, we are actually getting somewhere. Tailwind's loading. Colors are seeing colors for the first time. Do we ask? I think the font is being loaded, so let's get back to Claude. Now let's do Gemini. We did say we'd use it. The font isn't being loaded correctly. I wonder why this is client GitHub deprecated. Great particles. We've got some particles going off. Geez, taking its time. Rate limiting detected automatically in Gemini 2.5. Oh. One day I want AIs to run locally, so we don't have to worry about all this sort of stuff. I mean, they do, you can, but I couldn't on my computer. Jesus Christ. Just for the blooming font. I want to know where the font is being pulled in. Or at least let's find what the font is. To be fair, Manus, which is the thing that created this website, it's done a pretty good job. Oh my God, Gemini. Everyone's killing it. Everyone's killing it. Let's go back to Claude. The font is not loading. Let's see how this gets on. Let's have a look at the original site. Find out what font. Computed. UI. UI sans serif. Try and get some of those styles in. Being pulled over. I bet Gemini's servers are getting hounded right now. Hounded. Yeah. The US is waking up. Or West Coast even. See what it looks like. See if anything's changed. Well, it looks like the font is better. But surprisingly, for whatever reason, things aren't getting pulled in. Badge. Max width. Yeah, there still is a bunch of, there's a load of, some of these colors are being, it's still not, Tailwind is still not being pulled in properly. Let's try restarting. Yeah. Tailwind is not loading correctly. It's doing it. Are we not pulling in global CSS? Are we not loading that? Yeah, we're loading that in. Okay. Let's just try manually bringing it in. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go like this. So that's all the CSS in there. Why is Tailwind not loading in? No. No. Looks like we have to start from scratch. Well, not start from scratch. Go Tailwind 4. Let's try that. In V3, Tailwind CSS package was post CSS plugin, but the V4 plugin lives in dedicated Tailwind. Additionally, in V4, imports are handled automatically, so you can remove post CSS import with prefix. Okay, this is post CSS, but we don't think we need. Yeah. That's fine. That's using it. Let's try. What's it called? Post. Okay, we're in business. It was just that post CSS thing. And if we close, hang on. Yeah. If we close that, it looks like trash. Don't get me wrong. A little bit of difference there. I think it's literally just the font, to be fair. Okay, we need to sort that out. Let's do this. The core services section does not look like the attached. See how it goes. The services, so it's these boxes basically. Hasn't figured that out. No doubt the code is in there. In fact, we look here. Yeah, so there's text in there. It's just this before thing that it's not fixed. Three cards, glowing border. Yep, glass morphic effect. That's visually, if your live site doesn't have a screenshot, there are most likely causes. How to fix them. Sometimes Excel caches old styles. No, it's not it. Maybe we could just do that. Yeah, so that. What is the thing responsible for? Is it the before? It's gradient border before, isn't it? Let's see if we can add to that. So here's that. Probably because of this. Card slot gradient border. No, we're still getting something there. Is it the mask? Just paste this in anyway. Looks a bit. Okay, we've got something going on. We can see shit. Just that glowy thing around it. Oh. Yeah, we're back. It's a typo. Looking for the thing that's responsible for that background. So it is the mask, which we do have. We do have it here. But it's not liking it. Oh, no, it is liking it. Hang on. Gradient border before. This doesn't look right. Gradient border. This is why I have to get a bit manual, you know. Just don't understand why the same CSS is working here, but it's not working here. Mask layer's composite represents a composite vision used on the current mask layer with the mask layers below it. Okay, so why are you invalid property value XO or I wonder if there was a bunch of stuff that's generated with JavaScript. Still not liking that mask composite. I've never even. I guess it's not liking it there either. It's just grayed out there, but it's not there. It is necessary. Does that get added with JavaScript or something? Create particles, handle smooth scroll. No. Is there? Create particles, handle smooth scroll. I've got to go in 15 minutes, guys. But it's pretty much there. Just this weird masking thing we've got to figure out. It's even hovering, bouncing up and down, looks good. Okay, it's an ordering thing. Weird how the WebKit thing overrides the non-WebKit thing. But we're there. Looking pretty good. That could have gone a lot smoother if I just copied and pasted, just because it was a normal React project. But we just wanted to see how it would translate. I've got one more task. I won't do it now. I've got one more task I want to do. To move over like a slide deck thing into this website. Yeah. Kind of cool. Why don't we... Oh, that's the other one. It's this one. Kind of want to get this online, but it's looking like shit. So maybe we'll wait. I'll call it quits there. Try and go online for a little bit tomorrow before Command AI. But in the meantime, keep on vibing. See you later.